Welcome to episode number 5 of this Jacksonville Jaguars Madden 23 Fantasy Draft Franchise Series. And today I'm obviously playing my Jacksonville Jaguars Madden 23 Fantasy Draft Franchise Series. And based on the title of this video, it's the last game of the regular season, and there's also a lot on the line here in this game. As you can see, the Jaguars are playing the Titans here in Week 18 in Jacksonville, and if you can see it through the glare of the screen and the lights, we're 9-6-1. They're 10-6. These are the top two teams in the AFC South. We're in second place at 9-6-1. They're in first place at 10-6, and the winner of this game will win the AFC South and make the playoffs, obviously. And the loser might still make the playoffs, but if they do make the playoffs, the loser would obviously be a wild card team. And there's also the Texans, who are in third place at 9-7. They're 9-7 in third place. We're 9-6-1 in second place, and the Titans are 10-6 in first place. So there's a lot on the line, as we're happening up on Houston, and we're happening back to Tennessee. So yeah, and then you have the Colts, who are in last place at 3-13. So who cares about them? But yeah, there's still a chance, like I said, the loser still can make the playoffs. Maybe it just depends what some of the other teams do. Before we get into this game, I'm going to show you the playoff bracket or playoff picture for the 2022 season. As this is a fantasy draft franchise, obviously, so that's why the NFC 1 seed is the Lions. If this is a normal franchise, the Lions will not be the 1 seed. But obviously, it's a fantasy draft franchise. Right now, the 1 seeds are the Steelers in the AFC and the Lions in the NFC. I believe the Steelers might have Aaron Rodgers. That might be why they're the 1 seed. I'm not sure. Chiefs are the 2 seed. Titans, who are about to play, are the 3 seed. Bills 4 seed. Raiders 5 seed. We're right now the 6 seed. The Jaguars are, and the Ravens rounded out at the 7 seed. And right now, our wildcard matchup would be against Tennessee in Tennessee, but I don't think that's going to stay the same. I don't think that's going to be the case unless, it could be the same where we go to Tennessee to play the Titans, or the Titans come to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Not sure, but either way, this Week 18 game against Tennessee is at home in Jacksonville, and the winner of that game will win and the winner of that game, or this game I'm going to be playing in this episode, will win the AFC South. Over in the NFC, the Lions, like I said, are the 1 seed. The 49ers are the 2 seed. Panthers the 3 seed. Eagles the 4 seed. Bears the 5 seed. Giants the 6 seed. And then the Buccaneers rounded out at the 7 seed. But yeah, there's a lot of teams. Obviously, there's 14 teams that make the playoffs. Only the 1 seeds did a first round bye. But if you look at the standings right here, there's a lot of teams that are on the brink of making the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that could make the playoffs but might not. Let's look at the AFC first. AFC, Steelers already clinched their division. The AFC North, we're in the AFC South. The Steelers already clinched the AFC North and the best record in the NFC. Or the Steelers already clinched the AFC North, and they already clinched the AFC North and the best record in the AFC and the AFC 1 seed and the only first round bye in the AFC. So they clinched all that stuff. They're 13-3 and they've won 8 straight. The Chiefs have clinched a playoff appearance or playoff spot. They're 11-5, but they haven't clinched the AFC West yet. But they have clinched a playoff appearance, and those are the only 2 teams in the AFC that have clinched a playoff spot. All the other 5 spots are up for grabs. That says something right there. I mean, out of the 4 divisions in the AFC, only 1 is determined. It's the AFC North. The AFC West, AFC South, and the AFC East are all up in the air. Then you have the Titans, who lead the AFC South right now, but that could change. The Raiders lead the AFC, or the Raiders are only a game back at Kansas City in the AFC West. They're 10-6. Chiefs are 11-5. That's still up in the air. Jaguars, obviously, if we win against Tennessee in Week 18, we win the AFC South. The Bills, 9-7. Ravens, 9-7. Texans, 9-7. Patriots, 8-8. Patriots will have a chance to win the AFC East. They're 8-8. Bills are 9-7. Bills, Patriots are both in the AFC East. Dolphins, they're 7-9. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not sure. I don't think so. In the NFC, Lions have not clinched the 1 seed yet. They clinched the NFC North. but they haven't clinched the 1 seed yet. The 49ers have clinched the NFC West, and the Panthers have clinched the NFC South. Those are the only 3 teams that have clinched the playoff spot in the NFC. Panthers clinched the NFC South, 49ers clinched the NFC West, and the Lions clinched the NFC North. But the Lions have not clinched the 1 seed yet, and then the only division that's up for grabs is the NFC East. Yeah, the NFC East is the only division in the NFC that is up for grabs still. Bears 9-7, Eagles 8-7-1. They're the team that we tied against in week 4. Packers 8-8. You have the Vikings 8-8, Giants 8-8, Buccaneers 8-8, Cowboys 8-8, Rams 7-9, and then etc. There's like 5 teams 8-8. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you go from the Panthers who are 11-6, Bears 9-7, Eagles 8-7-1, and then you have like Packers, Vikings, Giants, Buccaneers, and Cowboys all 8-8. There's a lot on the line here in Week 18. And after this game, I will come back to the main menu and sim the wild card weekend most likely, and I'll show you obviously, well, who made the playoffs, and what the wild card matchups are, and hopefully we'll be one of the 14 teams in the playoffs. Hopefully, and hopefully we win the division. We control our own destiny. We'll win this game against Tennessee. We will make the playoffs and win the AFC South. And if we do win the AFC South, we will be guaranteed at least one home playoff game. I'm not sure what seed we would be if we won this game. I'm not sure if somehow this game ends up being a tie. Tennessee would win the division. They would be 10-6-1. We would be 9-6-2. So yeah. So the winner of this game will make the playoffs and win the AFC South. And if this game ends in a tie, Tennessee would win the division. So yeah. Let's get into this. This is tentatively the AFC South Championship game. The title of this video could be AFC South Championship game, last game of the season, or AFC South Championship versus Titans. Probably one of those 3 titles. But yeah, let's get into tentatively the AFC South Championship game right now. Skip that. Play full game, obviously, because I'm filming, and it's the AFC South Championship game against Tennessee, or against the Titans at home in Jacksonville. We're an 87 overall. They're an 84 overall. They have Chandler Jones. They have Matthew Judon, a left outside linebacker. Chandler Jones, a right outside linebacker. And then Kendall Fuller, a cornerback. I'm not sure who their quarterback is. Our quarterback is Derek Carr. And then we have Devontae Adams, who has Double Me. Derrick Henry has Freight Train. And then we also have Micah Hyde. Our quarterback's Derek Carr. We also have Tyler Higbee as our tight end, and I think we have Chris Godwin. That's one of our other wide receivers. We also have, I'm not sure else we have for receiver. We definitely have Devontae Adams. We definitely have Tyler Higbee at tight end. We definitely have, I believe we have Chris Godwin at wide receiver as well. Play call enhanced, game style simulation, and the skill level is all pro. Let's get into it right now. Here in this AFC South Championship game, winner will win the AFC South and make the playoffs. And then, like I said earlier, the loser still might make the playoffs. It just depends what the other teams do in the AFC. A lot on the line in the AFC and the NFC here in Week 18. Let's watch the presentation. Alan Roach. Our head coach is Dash C. And I believe the Titans running back is A.J. Dillon. He has some big quads. Derrick Henry has some big quads as well. And this is technically Derrick Henry's former team as well. Kind of forgot about that. Kirk Cousins is on Tennessee. I did not know Kirk Cousins was I didn't know Kirk Cousins was a Titans quarterback, but I didn't know Kirk Cousins was a Tennessee quarterback, but now I do know. I know now. You guys know now. Derek Carr and the Jaguars versus Kirk Cousins and the Titans. As you can see, there's the division leaders. As you can see, clinched the 1 seed is the Steelers and the division, and then the Chiefs have already clinched the wild card spot or clinched the playoff appearance, but they haven't clinched the division yet, but they have clinched the playoff appearance. The Chiefs have. So 2 out of the 7 teams that will make the playoffs in the AFC, 2 of them have clinched the playoff spot, but the other 5 are up for grabs. And then over in the NFC, 3 teams have clinched the playoff spot in the NFC. The other 4 are up for grabs, and then in the AFC, it's 2 teams have clinched the playoff spot, and 5 are up for grabs. And in the NFC, like I said, 3 have been clinched, and the other 4 are up for grabs. Here we go. Here's Derek Carr trying to get to the playoffs, and it's tentatively his first year in a Jacksonville uniform. This is a fantasy draft franchise. Let's throw a stick-in noodle vertical or something like that. Here we go. From our own 25-yard line. 6-minute quarters, by the way. 6-minute quarters. Here we go. First play from scrimmage. And here's a throw, and it's caught by Adams. And he got 9 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down and 1. Let's go with power 0 or power O. I'm not sure which one it is. Here we go. 30 seconds into the game. And here's Henry on 2nd and short, and he only got a couple, but he only needed 1. First down. Our first down of the game. Let's go with mesh spots here. 1 minute into the game from our own 36-yard line. Here we go. I believe this is a Sunday early game, by the way. Here's a throw, and it's inaccurate because of the pressure, but I believe this is a Sunday early game, and if it is, it's at 12 p.m. Central Time, which will be 1 p.m. Eastern. Because Jacksonville, Florida is obviously in Eastern Time. There's a throw wide open as that's O'Shaughnessy, one of our tight ends. He got 10, but he got like 9 yards and like 2 feet, like 9 yards and 2.5 feet, and it's now 3rd and less than a yard. 3rd and inches from the 46. I'm passing it here. It might be a mistake. There's a throw. It's caught. Oliver, one of our other tight ends, trucked the guy. I think he trucked number 29 Fuller. First down. As we only needed less than a foot, we got like 10 yards. As that was Oliver, one of our other tight ends. We have Tyler Higby, O'Shaughnessy, and then Oliver as our 3 tight ends here. Here we go. We also have Adams. One-on-one Flanders down. Get mossed. Adams mossed the defender down to the 10, but what's the flag? And it's going to be roughing the passer. And that'll tack on some more yardage. Be half the distance of the goal. As it's on the right end. So that'll bring the ball from the 10 to the 5. So it's roughing the passer, half the distance of the goal line from the end of the run. So it goes from the 10 to the 5. It's a first down regardless. But instead of first and goal from the 10, it's first and goal from the 5. Just over 2 minutes into the game. Here's Henry on a run up the middle. Henry! That's a face mask! That is definitely a face mask. And now it'll tack on maybe like a yard, because he was tacked on at like the 2 or 3 yard line. So that'll tack on a yard or 2. Be automatic first down. As that'll bring the ball from the 3 to the 2. Let's do the same play, so you only get like a yard tacked on because you're so close to the goal line. Automatic first down now. First and goal from the 2. And here's Henry, and Henry's in! Touchdown, Jacksonville! And the Jaguars strike first here in the AFC South Championship game. As the Jaguars strike first here in the AFC South Championship game. 6-0 Jaguars. And by the way, we are on a 4-game winning streak. We were 5-6-1. Now, and we were 5-6-1, but we were 5-6-1, but now we're on a 4-game winning streak. So we went from 5-6-1 to 9-6-1, and 1 win away from making the playoffs and winning the AFC South. Extra points good by Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers, if not the best kicker in the NFL. Justin Tucker kicks in the PAT, when it's 6 miles per hour, basically blowing kind of like that diagonal like that. You kind of see down there, it's blowing like that way. Kind of diagonal from like... The wind is 6 miles per hour, basically blowing at a diagonal. Here's a kick by Tucker, and that'll probably be a touchback. And it will be a touchback, as it's kneed by number 30 in the end zone. 1st and 10 Jacksonville, or 1st and 10 Tennessee at their own 25-yard line. And here's Cousins, as the Titans were 10-4, but now they're on a 2-game losing streak. And now they're 10-6. They were 10-4, but they're on a 2-game losing streak, and now they're 10-6, and they've left the door open for the Jaguars to come in and win the division. Here's A.J. Dillon, And that is Dillon. He got no yards, 7 down and 10. But the Titans have left the door open for the Jaguars to swoop in and take the division. Maybe. Here we go. Here we go. And there's a throw. That ball's caught. And he got 6 yards. And I just realized Kansas City and Las Vegas, who obviously the AFC West is up for grabs. The Chiefs and Raiders play each other in Vegas. Well, that game is a late game, so the game's at 3:25 p.m. Central Time. But that would be tentatively the AFC West championship game. That is about what, like an 8-yard gain or something, first down. That is an 8-yard gain. Robinson up to the 39-yard line. They convert on 3rd down. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 in Jacksonville. Here we go. And here's a run by Dillon. Dillon with a little bit of a space. And Jackson, Jackson and tackled Dillon, but he got 13. Lucky number 13. First down. And it's up to our 48-yard line. 1:30 to go in the first. 7-0 in Jacksonville. Here we go. Here's Dillon again. Dillon using those feet to thrust forward for 2. Send it down. Looks like the Jaguars and Titans did play each other in Week 14, so they played each other 4 weeks ago. The Jaguars and Titans did, and we won the game. Despite the announcer saying the game was in Jacksonville, the game was in Tennessee, and we won that game 38-17. It was a game off camera, but we won that game in Tennessee 38-17. Here we go, 3rd and 5 now from the 43. They're on the edge of field orange. Maybe here's a throw. It's caught. And it's a first down, gain of about 10. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10, Tennessee at the 33 of Jacksonville. That could be the quarter. There's only 7 seconds left. Under center is Cousins. There's only 4 seconds. He might snap it, and he will not snap it. End of the first quarter, 7-0. End of the first quarter, 7-0 in Jacksonville. But Tennessee's on the move. Here we go. 7-0 in Jaguars, but the Titans are on the move at R33. As Cousins is back, 5 wide. No one in the backfield. Here's Cousins. Got it away! And it's caught by number 17 down to the 18. First down, Tennessee, but my defender was one-on-one coverage. He just looked right at it. I mean, he could have definitely jumped that and at least knocked it down or intercepted it. Instead, it was caught. Here we go. And here's number 10. Who is Robinson, their other running back, I guess, got 2, 7 down and 8 from the 16, 5 minutes to go in the half, and remember, they did ball for halftime. Remember, it's 6-minute quarters. Here we go, there's a throw, and it's caught by number 1, Robinson. There's 2 Robinsons on this team? I don't know. Here we go, 3rd and 4 now from the 12. They got it to the 8-yard line for a first. Here we go. Let's stop him, boys. There's a throw. It's caught. And it's not a touchdown, but it's a first down. As Dana, 9 down to the 3. It's 1st and goal. Tennessee is there 3 yards away from tying the game. Or 3 yards away and then a PAT from tying the game, obviously. Here we go. Under center is Cousins. And they're going to run it with number 10. And he's untouched into the end zone. And Tennessee's within an extra point of tying the game. As both teams score a touchdown, they're open and drive. And if he makes his PAT, it will be tied. And the PAT is right down the middle. 7-7 game. 4 minutes to go in the first half. As they drove 75 yards, took 12 plays, and it took 5.5 minutes off the clock. So a 12-play, 75-yard drive that lasted 5 minutes and I believe 29 seconds, it said. 7-7, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Now, there'll be a return for Patrick Peterson, who is a defensive player, but he's our returner. And there's a flag down. That's probably going to be on us. Holden or Alito blocked in the back. And now will be Holden on the return team, which is us. It's on Josh Oliver, which is technically our fullback. I thought he was our tight end. One of our tight ends, but he's actually our fullback. At least on that play he was. And I'll bring us back to the 20-yard line. So, I mean, must have been a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run or a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, but 1st and 10 from the 20. So we only lost really a few yards. Here's a throw in stride as Adams. Got about a dozen. He did get a dozen. Up to the 32-yard line, first down. Let's do PA Dids. Here we have 3:30 to go in the half. 7-7 game. Tennessee gets the ball after halftime. Here we go. Play action. Play action. Here's a throw, and it's... I thought that was intercepted for a second, as I did not mean to throw it to that guy. Let's go with SC corner. 7 down and 10. 3:20 to go, but that could have been an interception. Here we go. And there's a throw. It's a little lobber. As I was hitting as I threw, Henry was open though, but he dropped it. As he was R1, the running back out of the backfield. Now it's 3rd down. Let's go a tight end drive. Behind it to the 42 for a first. 3rd and 10 from the 32. Under center is Carr. And here's a throw. And it's caught by Higby. And he's in the Tennessee territory. 1st down. As Carr sits for 96 yards. Huge 3rd down conversion to keep the drive alive. 21 yards and 3rd and 10 in the Tennessee territory. Here we go. And there's a throw, and that could have been picked off. But it was caught by... I don't know who it was caught by, but whoever caught it gained 3 yards. 2:20 to go. It's a quick, fast-paced first half here. Almost a 2-minute warning here. I'm going to roll outside. Got the ball away, and it's caught by Adams. Get mossed again. As he mossed the guy in the first drive, and he mossed possibly the same guy here on the 2nd drive. Even if it's not the same guy, it was another Tennessee defender. 2-minute warning, 7-7. But Adams, that's why I got Adams, and that's why he has a double me X factor, and that's why I got him. As he mossed possibly the same guy twice, but he definitely mossed 2 defenders on this Tennessee secondary. Possibly the same guy, I'm not sure. From the 19, 2 minutes to go, 1st and 10. And here's a throw to the end zone! Get mossed again! It's Chris Godwin! And the Jaguars are back out in front. 4th touchdown of the year. Only his 4th touchdown of the year for Chris Godwin. As Godwin one-on-one one-on-one, and he mossed his defender. And it's now 13-7 Jacksonville. PAT by Tucker is right down Broadway. And it's 14-7 Jaguars. 1:56 to go in the half. Tennessee has all 3 timeouts and 1:56 to work with. And all 3 timeouts, and they get the ball after halftime. Here we go. Here's a tip by Tucker. 14-7 Jaguars. 1:56 to go in the first half. And that will be through the uprights for a touchback. Here we go. 1st and 10 Tennessee at the 25. Their own 25. 1:56 on the clock. All 3 timeouts for Tennessee, and they get the ball after halftime. Huge drive for both teams. For this Jacksonville defense and this Tennessee offense. Here's a throw, and it's caught. Breaking a tackle, or not breaking a tackle, but into the outside is number 7, and Max Crosby, one of our defensive ends, or defensive linemen, or defensive ends, is injured. Clock is stopped, 1:51 to go as he got out of bounds, number 7 did. As I missed him, and then 2nd attempt, he was forced out of bounds. Here's a throw, and it's caught by number 7 again. He's out of bounds again, and they already got 20 yards in only like 2 plays that only lasted, what, like 12 seconds. There we go. From the 45, 1:47 to go. Empty backfield for Cousins and company. And it's caught by number 17 up to the R49 for our Prowders Virginia at 1st down. No huddle. 1:30 on the clock here. Here we go. Plenty of time for Cousins. And how do you not break that up? Cousins is 10 for 10, 105 yards. Muscle cramps for Max Crosby. Re-injury risk is medium. I'm going to bring him back in. I mean, he'll have time to rest during like the 12-minute halftime in a minute. 1:06 on the clock here. They're already at R23 in, 3 plays. Here's a throw. It's caught by number 7. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle, and he's in. Touchdown. Can you make a tackle? That's Taysom Hill. I didn't realize that they have Taysom Hill. But Taysom Hill, who can play quarterback, running back, wide receiver, fullback, really any offensive position except for offensive linemen. He can play literally any offensive position except for offensive linemen. And he was as a wide receiver, and he broke like 3 tackles. And this game is tied at 14. 5 plays, 75 yards, and it lasted I think it's 5 plays, 75 yards, and the drive lasted exactly 1 minute, I believe. Here's a good run back by Peterson. to the 34-yard line, as that was, I think, a 5-play, 75-yard drive that lasted exactly 1 minute, because it started with 1:56 in the clock. Now there's 56 seconds in the clock. Well, now 51 seconds because of that run back. Here we go. Remember, they did ball after halftime, so we gotta score at least a field goal here. Preferably a touchdown, in my opinion. Here's a throw, and it's... Oh, I thought he had it, but not jarred out of his hands. Here we go. We at least got it 3, but I prefer 7. Yeah, I mean, there's been 4 drives in this game, 2 by each. There's been 4 drives in this game, 2 by each team, 2 touchdowns. And there's a throw, and it's caught by Higby. I don't think he got the first down, though. And Higby is hurt. He did get the first down. And well, we lose one of our timeouts because of the injury, so we're charged with our first timeout of the half because of the injury. He did get the first down, though. 42 seconds to go from our own 44. Here we go. Here we go. And there's a throw up for grabs. I probably just thrown it away, but it's incomplete. As he has bat spasms, the re-injury risk is medium. O'Shaughnessy the backup. I'll put O'Shaughnessy in. Here we go, 7 down, 36 seconds on the clock, 2 timeouts. Lost our first timeout because of the Higby injury, because it was under 2 minutes to go in the half. Here we go, Adams beat his defender, and Adams is down to the 15. And we're going to call our second timeout as Adams just burned right by his guy. Right at the line of scrimmage, he burned by his guy, had a step on him or more. Down to the 14-yard line, 21 seconds to go, we have 1 timeout left as he burned right by his defender. It's a PA roll to the left. And here we go. Here's Carr. I'm going to run with Carr. And he's out of bounds at the 3. 23 seconds to go. Gain of 11. First and goal. Let's throw a quick slant here. We don't want to give Tennessee any time. Or not that much time. Here's a quick slant. Here's a throw. And it's caught. O'Shaughnessy. In for Tyler Higby. Touchdown. Jacksonville. And for the third time, we have the lead as the Jaguars take their 3rd lead of the game, and the Jaguars for the 3rd time take the lead. As we have 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and we take our 3rd lead of the game. And the extra point by Tucker, it's right down the middle. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, 3 for the Jaguars, 2 by the Titans. 20 seconds to go in the half. Tennessee has all 3 timeouts, but only 20 seconds. But they do get the ball after halftime. Here we go. No points here, boys. Because we can't be a team that gives up these like sloppy points at the end of the half, and they get the ball after halftime. And that will be another touchback through the uprights. Here we go. I mean, I don't think they're going to need it. I think they're actually going to try to run a few plays here. Under center is Cousins here. 3 receivers, and then 2 guys in the backfield. And they're going to run with it. And he got 4, and they actually called their first timeout. We have 1 timeout left. They have 2 now. It's surprising they ran it. I thought they would pass it. 2nd and 6 now from the 16 seconds to go on the clock. Here we go. Cousins empty backfield. Now there's a throw, and it's caught. What a hit! 13 seconds up to the 41. They call their 2nd timeout, so both teams have 1 timeout left. I mean, they're really only like 20 yards away from field goal range if they want to try like a 60-yard field goal. Here we go, empty backfield. There's a throw. It's caught, and he stays in bounds. 8 seconds to our 48, but they only have 8 seconds and no timeouts to our 49, really. First down. I mean, if you tackle him in bounds, the half is over. If you let him get out of bounds and like 10 yards, you have a chance for a field goal. Here we go. Come on. Wide open at number 7, but they're going to run out of time as there's no time left. Time runs out. That was Hill who caught it down at the 30-yard line, but they had no timeouts and time ran out. And Jacksonville has a 7-point lead at halftime. And Tennessee gets the ball after halftime. But Tennessee does get the ball after halftime. And let's listen in to Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Texans at Colts. You expect the Texans to be winning that game. They are. Late in the first half, Texans up 21-7. Texans quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. Jameson Winston is the Colts quarterback. This is a big game. Patriots at Bills. Patriots are up 21-0 with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Sam Darnold's the Patriots quarterback. Jimmy G is the Bills quarterback. The Buccaneers at Falcons. Are the Falcons 7-9, Buccaneers 8-8. It's 21-17 Falcons. 16 seconds to go in the first half. Ryan Tannehill is the Buccaneers quarterback. Justin Herbert's the Falcons quarterback. Here we go. Second half. AFC South Championship game. Second half AFC South Championship game. Tennessee gets the ball to start second half. Down 21-14. Here we go. Third quarter here in the AFC South Championship game. Tennessee gets the ball first. 21-14 Jacksonville. Now it'll be a touchback through the uprights again. As Tennessee gets the ball first to start the second half. Number 77 there's a big man. Here we go. Tennessee gets the ball to start the second half. Down 21-14. Here we go. Cousins under center. You gotta watch for Taysom Hill here. And here's number 10, which is Robinson, who has 5 rushes, 15 yards, and a touchdown. Got 3 there. He has a touchdown. This Robinson does, and then Taysom Hill is the other one through the air. Here we go. Here's number 10 again. Ran to his own man. Got 2. 3rd and 5 now. This is a huge third down. If we stop him and get the ball back, even a field goal will make it a 2-score game. It's a huge play here. Here we go. 3rd and 5. And they're going to throw it. And it's picked off by Johnson. And it could be a pick six. And it is a pick six. Touchdown Jaguars. A pick six for number 20, which is Jackson. I'm not sure what his first name is, but it's picked off by number 20. His last name is Jackson, and he takes it like 35 yards for the pick six. And the Jaguars are up by a baker's dozen. A huge play by this defense. And we're up 27-14. Here's Tucker for the extra point. And it's right down the middle. And we're up by 14 at 28-14. 4:52 to go in the third quarter. And we're up by, like I said, up by 14 at 28-14. As we're up by 14 after that pitch hits by Jackson. There's a hit by Tucker. As we're up by 14 now early in the third quarter. And now will be another touchback through the uprights again. That should be worth 3 points. I'm just kidding. But, here we go. From the 25, 4:52 to go in the third quarter. We're up by 14 after that pitch hits by Jackson. Here we go. And here's a run by number 21. Kind of looks like Derrick Henry. It's Foreman. It's not Derrick Henry because we have Derrick Henry. Got almost 10 yards, 7 down in inches. Here we go. So we still have a sack. Wide open to Taysom Hill, who has the only touchdown that Cousins has thrown in this game. Tied the game at 14 in the second quarter. First down is Taysom Hill. Like I said, like any offensive position, except for offensive linemen. Here we go. Cousins was under center, but now he's in the backfield as they audibled. Here we go. There's a quick throw. And that was in a lot of traffic, but he got it in there. 2nd and 2 after a gain of 8 up to midfield. As we don't have any stats yet. We do have a pick six, though, obviously, by Jackson a few minutes ago. Here we go. There's a throw. And it's tight window again, but he makes the catch, number 1 does, down at the 42, first down. As we're halfway through the third quarter, Jaguars are up by 14. Here we go, halfback toss to the right, and a good play to trip him up. Loss of 1, set him down at 11. Good play by number 8 to trip up the running back on the halfback toss. 2:20 to go in the third. We're up by 14. And here's a throw wide open. It's 44 as he just sat right in the middle of the field, and we have another injury. Kyle Van Noy, one of our linebackers, is injured. That's great. So Hidby was injured, Crosby was injured, and now Van Noy is injured. I think the other 2 players came back though in the game though. Here's a throw and a good catch. Good catch by the receiver as he dropped the ball, sent it down. Yeah, I believe Crosby and Hidby came back because it was only back spasms and muscle cramps. Here we go. 2:10 to go in the quarter. Here's a throw. It's caught by number 1. Dot sits. It's only 3rd down and 4. It's a bruised shoulder for Kyle Van Noy. Injury risk is medium. I know I'm bringing the backup. Van Noy's like a 78. The backup's like a 70. Here we go. 3rd and 4 from the 22. 1:40 on the clock here. Huge play. Here's a throw, and did he get the first down? He did. As he rolled out of bounds, did like a barrel roll, and he got 4 yards, and he only needed 4, and he got 4, first down. Man. Come on, D. And here's a run. I'm not sure where A.J. Dillon went. He's their running back, but there's this Foreman, and then there's also that Robinson. I'm not sure where Dillon went. I haven't seen him since the first quarter. Here we go. Empty backfield for Cousins and company. Under 1 to go in the 3rd. Here's Cousins. Plenty of time. Wide open is Taysom Hill, as he has 2 receiving touchdowns, and Tennessee's within a score. As he has both receiving he has 2 receiving touchdowns, and both passing touchdowns for Cousins have gone to Hill. And yet your point by the Tennessee kickers right down the middle.
Have gone to Hill.
What does that mean? Yeah, both passing touchdowns by Cousins have gone to Taysom Hill, and here's a hit by the kicker for Tennessee, which I think is a different kicker than the place kicker, because that might be their punter, because it's a lefty, and their place kicker who just did the PAT as a righty. Up to the 27-yard line, 36 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We're up by 7 here in this Week 18 game. Winner will win the division here in the AFC South, so it's tentatively the AFC South championship game. We're up by 7. First drive on offense for us in the 3rd quarter because of the pit six, and that's an interception by Joyner. I threw the double coverage. That was a mistake, and they take over at their 49. So that was our first play on offense in the 3rd quarter, or in the 2nd half, because of that pit sits. And well, Carr's first throw in a long time, or first first throw of the 2nd half is an interception. That will be a penalty, holding on the offense. It's on Taysom Hill. It's on Taysom Hill, who has those 2 touchdowns. 10-yard penalty from the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st and 16. 1st and 16 from the 43. 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and they're gonna run it. And he just, how does he stay on his feet? And then he fell over his own die. As Foreman stayed on his feet and then ran over his own die. 8. 2nd down and 8 now. So that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th quarter here in this AFC South championship game with everything on the line here in Week 18. The Jaguars are up 28-21. As our only touchdown in the 3rd quarter was that pit sits, and we had 1 offensive play in that quarter. It was an interception. But we did score in that quarter because of the pit sits thrown by Cousins. 2nd and 8 from midfield. 4th quarter, 6 minutes to go. Come on, D. As Foreman got a yard, but it's another holding call. As he got a yard, as it's on one of their other tight ends. I'm not going to accept it. If I declined it, it would have been 3rd down, but I'd rather have, it would have been 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 18. I'd rather have 2nd and 18. That might have made a bad mistake. That might have been a bad choice. As now it's 3rd and 13, so hopefully I made the right decision. Obviously, at this point, I can't change it, obviously. 3rd and 13 now. 5.5 to go. From their 46 to down to our 41 for a first here. Come on, D. Just don't do up 13 yards, players. 13 yards, and we gave up 10 yards, but not 13. It's now 4th and 3. They might go for that. They're probably going for that. They're coming out in punt formation. Just watch for the fake. Just watch for the fake. Under 5 to go, they're punting. But just watch for the fake, and they're actually punting it. It's a coffin corner punt. That's a touchback, and it is a touchback as it goes out of bounds, or it crossed out of bounds in the air. And when it did that, it was in the end zone. So it's a touchback out to the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10, Jacksonville from the 20. 4:47 on the clock, and we have a chance, well, to make it a 2-score game. Any score here would make it a 2-score game, even a field goal. Here's Henry. Henry! The former Titan only has 4 rushes, 14 yards, and a touchdown, but he got 8 on that one. 7 down. 2nd and 2. 2:20 on the clock, or 4:20 on the clock. I'm gonna switch. Oh no, here we go. It's a pass here. Carr, it fumbles the ball and picked up by an offensive line. That was lucky. Strip sack, but Tennessee doesn't recover it. Third down. As an offensive lineman picked it up. Thankfully, he picked it up. 3:45 on the clock. It's 3rd and 8 now. Huge third down. And wide open is Circle. It's Higby, who is back from the bat spasms or muscle cramps. I believe he had bat spasms. First down. As he was wide open in the middle of the field. 3:15 on the clock. 1st and 10 from our 42. Here we go. Here's Henry. Henry trucks some people. And Henry got about like 15. Already to the Tennessee 44. Keep running it. I haven't run it that much in this game, but I should have been. Here we go. Here's Henry again. Henry still fell forward for 4. As Houston's now only up by 7 on the Colts with 8:45 to go in that game. That's a huge game for at least Houston, because Houston might not make the playoffs if they lose. Even if they win, they still might not make the playoffs. Here we go. I'm throwing it, which might be a mistake. I have all day, but no one was open, and Chandler Jones sacks me. It's now 3rd and 14. Now take us to the 2-minute warning. So it'll be the 2-minute warning right now. 2-minute warning. We're up by 7, but it's 3rd down and 14 from about midfield. Here we go. Let's go with play type. Let's go with standard pass. Let's go with tight end attack. If we get like 10 yards, I might go for it, or I might be able to kick a field goal. Not sure which way the wind's going though. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going up to Adams. Moss, your defender, Adams, and he mossed him. Let's go. As Devontae Adams might have just had the AFC South dagger right there. As Dane of like 45 yards out of the 6, Tennessee calls their first time out, but that could be your AFC South dagger right there. Unbelievable. And now I'm doing a halfback draw here. That's the 3rd time he's mossed a defender in this game. Might have been the same guy all 3 times, I'm not sure, but he's mossed 3 Tennessee defenders, and Henry's in. Touchdown, Jacksonville, untouched. And that should be your AFC South dagger right there. 6-yard touchdown for Henry, his 2nd touchdown on the ground here in this game, and we're up by Baker's dozen. As he was untouched into the end zone, and that will most likely be your AFC South dagger. 1:52 on the clock, and we're up by 14. As we're up by 14 at 35-21, our first offensive touchdown of the 2nd half. That was only our 2nd offensive drive of the 2nd half. We had the interception and now the touchdown. And now we're up by 14, 1:52 on the clock, and we are a minute 52 away from winning the AFC South. And that will be a touchback. Tennessee, like I said, if they lose this game, they still might make the playoffs. I'm not sure, but we're a minute 52 away from winning the AFC South and, quite frankly, stealing it out of the Titans' hands, because the Titans were 10-4, but now they're 10-6 because they lost 2 straight games. After they were 10-4, but they lost 2 straight games. Here's a throw, and it's caught, and he's still in bounds. Cousins has 262 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Here we go. Come on, we haven't had a sack yet in this game. And 2 plays are already down to our 43. No huddle here. That's 2 timeouts. 1:15 on the clock here. Come on, let's get a... Just keep them in bounds here. Force them to use their timeouts or go no huddle. Cousins almost at 300 yards. 1 minute to go. They're at our 35 already. Here's a throw, another catch. But I'm going to call a timeout just to stop their momentum. Hopefully that is 54 seconds to go, because I don't want them to keep going no huddle. I want my defense to have a break too. Here we go. Already down to our 21. 54 seconds to go. 2 timeouts for Tennessee and 2 timeouts for Jacksonville. Here we go. Come on. Let's get some pressure, boys. No pressure. And a good tackle by number 27 on Taysom Hill. No huddles. Resident call a timeout. 33 seconds. And there's a throw. And it's caught. As that Tennessee player, number 19, lost my defender, as that was like a rainbow pass from Cousins, and number 19 jumped up and caught it over my defender, as my defender got mossed. And now it's an 8-point game, but there's only 30 seconds left, and they would have to do an onside kick recovery to have a chance. As they only have that extra points just inside the left upright, or not just inside the left upright, but it's inside the left upright. But yeah, that was not a good job by our defense, as they just let him go right down the field. Yeah, that was not good. I have my hands team out there. It's a lefty kicker, so he's kicking it over to the right. Just make sure you don't fumble it and recover it. Okay, it's recovered by Coleman, number 18. Should have just went down instead of taking a hit, but it's picked up by Coleman, number 18, and that is going to be the game. As they only have 2 timeouts, Tennessee does, so even if they call both of those timeouts, time will run out. As Tennessee will call the first timeout, but so a couple more kneel downs, and that will end this game. As we survive, I mean, we survive. Our defense did just enough to win this game, and our offense did just enough to win this game as well. I did throw an interception. Didn't lead to the game. Didn't lead to a touchdown. It led to a punt. And then obviously Cousins on the Titans' first drive of the third quarter threw a pick six, which ends up being the difference in the game. As that pick six by Cousins on their first drive of the second half ends up being the difference in the game. 25 seconds, 3rd and 12, but they have no timeouts left. So another kneel down will end this game officially. As that is your AFC South dagger. 20 seconds left. Obviously, we don't need to run another play. That is going to end this game in 13 seconds. The Jaguars, they were 5-6-1, but the Jaguars are now 10-6-1. Will finish their season 10-6-1 as they end the season on a 5-game winning streak. Time runs out. Jaguars win, and we win the AFC South. I'm not sure when the last time the Jaguars actually won the AFC South. I think it was 2017 when the Jaguars got all the way to the AFC Championship game, but lost to the Patriots in the 2017 AFC Championship game. As we averaged almost 10 yards per play, 9.3 would be exact. They averaged 8.5. Both teams had 1 takeaway. They had more passing yards and rushing yards than us Tennessee did, but obviously we had more points, and we won the game 35-28. As So looks like Tennessee made the playoffs because Brandon Gaudin, the play-by-play announcer, just said that they finished 10-7. Well, we finished 10-6-1. They finished 10-7, which is obviously we finished half a game better than Tennessee. So that tie was a difference. If we were going to make the playoffs or win the AFC South or not. So we made the playoffs, won the AFC South, because even if Houston won and if they won, they would be 10-7 as well. We would be 10-6-1, which we are. So we finished the season 10-6-1. The Titans finished their season 10-7. We finished 10-6-1 as we end the year on a 5-game winning streak. We were 5-6-1, and we finished the year on a 5-game winning streak. So we finished 10-6-1. We were 5-6-1, but now we're 10-6-1 to end the season. So I mean, we're hot going into the playoffs. 5-game winning streak to end the year, and we are full steam ahead going into the playoffs. As we will host in the wild card round because we did win the division. We will host. I'm not sure what seed we are and who we're going to be playing in the wild card round, but we'll find out right now. As I'm going to show you the wild card matchups and who we're playing in the wild card round. Cousins had a 93% completion percentage. I think he had like 2 incomplete passes that entire game. As he kind of torched the Jaguars secondary, but we did have that interception, that pick six, which ended up being the difference in the game. Because obviously pick six plus the extra point equals 7 points, and we won by 7 points. That was the difference in the game. As we went, I believe that I set the goal at the beginning of the season or the goal at the beginning of the season for the Jaguars was to make the playoffs, and we did just that. Despite it says Tennessee's still in first place, they're not. As even if Houston wins, we're still going to be in first place. As yeah, let's advance to the wild card weekend. See what the wild card matchups are and who we're playing in the first round of the playoffs. We'll be home because we're in the division, but I'm not sure who we're going to be playing and what seed we are. We'll find out momentarily here. And we are playing the Texans. We are playing the Texans. The Texans won against the Colts, and it looks like they made the playoffs. Titans also finished 10-7, but they didn't make the playoffs. Looks like Houston had the tiebreaker over Tennessee. And we have some interactions with the media here. We have playoff rivals and the first of many playoff games, and then playoff rivals because we're in the same division with Houston. We already played them twice this year, and we went 1-1 against them, or 0-2. I'm not sure. Let's look at the playoff bracket in the next clip. See you on the other side. So I just at the end of the last clip, we're gonna look at the playoff bracket here for the 2022 NFL season in 3, 2, 1. And there's the playoff bracket as the 1 seeds hold. It's the Lions and the Steelers. Finish their franchise. Keep that in mind. And yeah, Tennessee, despite the announcer Brandon Gaudin saying that Tennessee will play next week, or in this case this week, as a wild card team, that was incorrect. Because they're not in the playoffs, as Houston and Tennessee both finished 10-7. But Houston must have had the tiebreaker over Tennessee. So Houston's in, Tennessee's out, and we're the 3 seed. The Texans are the 6 seed, and the game will be in Jacksonville. The game will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday in the stadium, obviously. There's obviously 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, and then the 1 game Monday night, which is the 4 and 5 seed in the NFC playing each other, which is the Giants and Cowboys. That should be a good game. 2 NFC East rivals. And then obviously we're playing the Texans, 2 AFC South rivals. Yeah, it'll be no, Tennessee did make the playoffs. I did not see. I didn't look up there. Tennessee did make the playoffs as a 7 seed. So my bad. Yeah, I thought they didn't make the playoffs, but I had a brain fart and I didn't look up in the top left hand corner. So brain fart, my bad. Tennessee did make the playoffs. They're going to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. As it looks like the Raiders must have beat the Chiefs in Week 18 in Las Vegas. Chiefs still made the playoffs as the 5 seed, but the Raiders won the AFC West and are the 2 seed. So it's the Titans at Raiders, Titans at Raiders, Texans at Jaguars, and then the Chiefs at Bills. Despite it being a finish our franchise, so those 2 teams playing each other again in Buffalo. Because Buffalo is the 4 seed, Kansas City is the 5 seed, and over in the NFC, Lions got the 1 seed in the first round bye, and then it's Vikings at 49ers, Bears at Panthers, and then Cowboys at Giants. And then like I said, the 1 seeds are the Steelers and the Lions, and yeah, like I said, it's 7 versus 2, or 7 versus 2, 6 versus 3, and then 5 versus 4 for the seed-ins, like 7 seed versus 2 seed. 6 seed versus 3 seed, and then 5 seed versus 4 seed, with the 2, 3, and 4 seeds being the home team. And then the 1 seed will play the lowest seed remaining, and then the 1 seeds, or the 1 seed in both conference, and then the 1 seed in both conferences will play the lowest seed remaining after wild card weekend. So I mean, we're the 3 seed, so we're the 3 seed, so I don't think there's a chance we will play this 1 seeded Steelers in the divisional round if we do beat Houston. I don't think there's any chance. There's not a chance. Because even if, say, the 2, 3, and 4 seeds all win, we would play the 2 seed, which would be the Raiders in this case, and then the 4 seed, which is the Bills, would go to Pittsburgh to play the 1 seeded Steelers. So we will not play the Steelers, at least in the divisional round. We still could play them in the playoffs, and if we were to play them in the playoffs, it would be in the AFC Championship game. But obviously, we would have to win 2 games, and the Steelers would have to win 1 game. So yeah, unfortunately my favorite team, the Packers, did not make the playoffs. I saw the Packers lost to the Lions in Green Bay, but obviously it looks like the Lions didn't make the playoffs either. So yeah, and the Buccaneers, who were in that 7 seed going into Week 18, the Buccaneers must have lost to the Falcons because the Vikings are now the 7th seed instead of the Buccaneers. So yeah, that's the full playoff bracket for the 2022 NFL season. As you can see, that's where the Jaguars are right there, the 3 seed. The Titans didn't make the playoffs as the 7th seed, despite me saying they didn't make the playoffs, and that Brandon Gaudin was wrong when he said that they were playing as a wild card team in wild card weekend. That's what Brandon Gaudin said. As I said, he was wrong, but obviously I was wrong and he was right. So sorry about that. Tennessee didn't make the playoffs as 3 teams. The Jaguars, Texans, and Titans all made the playoffs from the AFC South. So you had 3 teams make the playoffs from the AFC South. And yeah, we're 10-6-1. They're 10-7. Obviously, we won the AFC South by half a game over Tennessee and Houston. And because we're the higher seed, we will obviously host Houston in the wild card round, as we went 1-1 or 0-2 against Houston. I know we lost one game against Houston, definitely. That was one of the days I filmed on camera. I believe it was episode 2 of this series. We lost to Houston in Jacksonville. Then we lost to them by like 10 or 13, or we lost to them by like, it was at least 2 scores. We lost to the Texans on camera. That was episode 2 of the series, I believe. We lost to the Texans. It was at least by 2 scores. And then I'm not sure, that was in Jacksonville, and I'm not sure if we beat the Texans in Houston or not. But we went 1-1 or 0-2 against Houston. Either way, 3rd time the charm, as we're playing Houston for a 3rd time this year, and the 2nd time in Jacksonville. And yeah, so their quarterback, as you can see it down there, is Patrick Mahomes, who had 4,400 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Be a battle. Mahomes and the Texans versus Carr and the Jaguars in the wild card round, which will be in the next episode of this series. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's time. Red closing the board. If it's episode, the like button. Subscribe if you have any. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know what? I'm gonna see you in episode number 6 of this Jacksonville Jaguars Madden 23 Fantasy Draft Franchise Series. See you in episode number 6. And eat on a bacon and go Jaguars, and see you in the playoffs.